Alright guys, we are out here today because I just wanted to film a little video to, I guess, right one of my wrongs. I'm out here today because I'm actually about to reshoot, or not reshoot, but update my loadout. I'm releasing out the loadout video. But as you guys know, this is my pride and joy. This is my APS Phantom Extremis Mark IV rifle. I love this thing to death. If you haven't seen the review of it or the unboxing of it on my channel, go check that out. But if you remember, the biggest complaint about this gun I had is that this little tube back here, that is the battery space. You have to fit whatever battery you're going to run in there. And as other people have said on the internet, other people have reviewed the similar rifles, and it's like, it seems like you can only fit a 7.4 volt in there. And with a 7.4 volt, the gun runs, but it kind of runs like a potato. And that's one of my biggest complaints. It's like, why build such an amazing gun that can only hold a 7.4 if it does not run properly on a 7.4? Well, it does run properly. All the gameplay I have with it so far is on a 7.4, and it shoots, but just seems to have a real long cycle because this thing doesn't have a MOSFET or any electronics in the gearbox. It's a good gearbox, but just it runs slow. So I was getting my gear together last night to make sure I had everything, charged batteries and everything. And I'm looking at this battery space, and well, this is my 11.1. I bought this for my SEMA SVD because it's got the battery space for it. And the 11.1 is long enough where it can fit in the stock, and it's small enough where it can fit in this hole. But the problem is you have all the wiring for the battery has to fit in here too. And with a 7.4 volt, you can do that. You can stick the battery in. If I can get the wiring out, it's kind of stuffed in there right now. You can just plug it in, stick the battery in, and there's plenty of space for the wires. You don't need to worry about the spacing issue. With the 11.1, because you got the fuse back here too, it just seems like it's not going to fit. Well, I found out that an 11.1 does fit in here if you do it properly, and so. What I did was, once you get the wires exposed here, you gotta pull them all the way out to the point where the fuse is pretty much past the top of the ring here, and then you can stick your 11.1 in, and you gotta force it all the way down. What's that gonna do is, that's gonna force the wires to the side of the tube. Then you can you're gonna plug it in, and then you just gotta keep pushing that 11.1 volt as deep as it'll go in, and then the fuse and the rest of the wires go in last. And it is a tight fit, don't get me wrong, but you can do it, and you can lock this back in place. I have not run this yet with the 11.1 in, and I'm very excited. I was going to use a different gun next time I was going airsofting, but I think I'm actually going to use this, because now with an 11.1 it should... That's what I expected from a gun at this price level. Of course, you can say that, you know, for other guns that are cheaper, you don't need to run an 11.1 to get that kind of firepower. And you can say that since it doesn't have a MOSFET, it's going to wear out the trigger contacts and whatnot. But this is a very robust gearbox. I'm not worried about that. And I'm not afraid to replace some of the parts that I need. But now with this 11.1, I'm getting like as fast as I can possibly fire this gun. Trigger response. And it cycles all the way. I'm not having any problems with that whatsoever. So I'm righting my wrongs here. Ignore, if you watch my review on this, ignore everything I was saying. That was the biggest issue I had with this gun. That an 11.1 was what you need to work it, and it doesn't fit in the stock, but it does. I've seen other people make videos on this where they attach the 11.1 to the outside because they just thought it wouldn't fit, but it actually does, and so. That's amazing in my opinion. So I'm just putting this out there just so people know you can fit 11.1s in these, I think they're called Tron stocks by APS. And it'll make the gun run absolutely amazing. So yeah, I'm just putting this out there. Peace.